Let's get into the movie of the week here. Predator Badlands. I'll start us off here. Um, this was my number one most anticipated movie after July. We had that crazy month of July. This did not disappoint me whatsoever, and realistically, I'm gonna be biased on this one for sure. It's got me off of two of my points, and we'll speak on that in a little bit. But I'm at a 10 on this. I really enjoyed this. Fun action, like almost nonstop throughout the whole movie, except for like that middle act. But even in that middle act, you got some story elements that I think were needed for some characters and character development and things like that. That was pretty cool. But way to tell a Predator story. Like they what? Dan Trettensberg has been killing it, and he does not fall short here for me personally. So I'm at a 10. Cody?
Let me keep it short and simple. I'm at an 8, and the 2 points that I knocked off isn't that crazy. It's just I'm not familiar, or I should say, I don't have a lot of knowledge on the Alien versus Predators or Predators, Alien, whatever. I don't have any knowledge on like the world. So this was really like my first time really actually. It's kind of like Tron. Like, that was my first time being put into that. So this is new for me. So what I say later on gonna make sense. So yeah.
I am at a 9. I enjoyed the fuck out of this. Like you were talking about, he's 3 for 3. He has not missed since taking over this fucking universe, man. I don't. I think me personally, I think I like Prey more than this, but this shit had a lot to fucking love. But I think I just like Prey as a narrative a little bit more. And what's the other one? Killers.
You watched that?
Yeah, I did watch that.
Oh.
I watched it before this. I really like that shit too. I think once it got to the World War shit is where it lost me just a little bit. But everything, I mean, that samurai shit, oh my god.
Yeah.
Whoo, insane. But yeah, he's killing this shit, and this does not drop off from what he's got going on, and I hope he continues to make more, because this was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll speak on that real quick. Obviously, Prey, way to revive the franchise, prequel type of thing. Then he went into this animated version, anthology, amazing. Then he decided to do something that's never been done and tell the story perspective from a Predator. And we had our reservations with that rated R not being rated R for the first time ever. It was not needed, honestly. There was so much violence in here. There was already like blood from the aliens, and I spoke on this even when we found that out, from the aliens, from the synths, and all that stuff. So they didn't miss a beat not being rated R. I thought that was pretty cool. And then there's something here at the end that alludes to where he can possibly go with the next one. And like I just mentioned, he did 3 different type of Predator movies, and now a 4th one with that last scene that we got at the end. Like, insane. This dude is doing 4 different styles of Predators potentially, and they could potentially all work. And I'm super excited if that ends up getting done and we get to see that. So pretty cool. But yeah, absolutely loved it. Love the story on it. It made sense, and we're in spoilers already. It made sense for this Predator because people had reservations about the helmet being off, and to me it made sense to the storytelling and why he didn't have his helmet and stuff. Yeah, like he wasn't a full blown Predator yet. He was off to get his first cloak. I mean, his cloak, to be invisible and things like that. And he was the runt of his litter. And from the very moment this movie starts, it starts off with great action and crazy scene and this is where it got like boosted for me, because you guys know me and I'm gonna go towards the brother stuff. Like, that stuff is gonna get me. And they right off the rip, they're brothers. His brother protected him because he's the runt. They talked about a little bit of backstory about the little brother protecting the big brother back in the day. We didn't get to see that, but he got his tusk injured, and he sacrificed his life so that his brother can potentially live on. And I thought right away that you got me right there. The second point, they talked about this whole wolf thing, and he adopted the wolf mentality and things like that. Come on.
When I heard that shit, I said, Jamie, I was going to say that shit. Oh.
Hell yeah. So, I mean, come on. So that's probably where I'm at. Realistically, this is probably a 9, but me being biased, I'm at a 10. And I'm kind of struggling to find any negatives, so I'm interested to see what Cody and maybe even Jet, what kind of negatives you guys take away from it. Maybe I can see where you guys are coming from on that. But I love this whole story. I thought it was fantastic. The action was phenomenal. The planet itself, where literally everything can kill you, from the blades of grass.
That planet is crazy.
Crazy, insane. So yeah, that was such a cool scene, or cool planet to be on, and for him to go on his hunt and stuff like that. To the final twist at the end, which I don't think I saw coming. With his hunt, his target and things like that, and what happened with all of that. I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. Like, he didn't do what he had to do. So yeah, I'll kick it over to these guys and let me see if there's any negatives they could potentially speak on. There you guys.
Well, we're going to go through the movie most likely, so I could probably remember some stuff. But the main, and it's not an issue per se, it's just something for me personally, was like I get he's the weakest, and I don't need a backstory on that. But like, the movie didn't portray him weak in any way. And I guess that's scaling towards like weak in terms of the clan, so that can make sense. But in terms of like what I saw, that nigga was not weak. Like, he lost to his brother, and obviously would have lost to his dad at the time. But like, the moment since he stepped on that planet, he was not weak.
He was surviving.
I wanted to see him struggle and be like, oh, that's why he's just, but no, I felt like he was that guy. Like, and like I said, I can't, maybe that's attested to like, maybe in the clan he's weak, but I just didn't see why he was being shunned.
He would have died pretty early in the movie if it wasn't for the synth.
Yeah, he did get saved, but
he would have died.
But again, to that planet is crazy.
No, for sure.
That planet had everything is deadly, nigga. He thought everything that he saw, he thought was the what's it called that he's trying to catch?
The Callisk. The
Callisk. Yeah, he thought everything was. That's how crazy that planet was. Is that the Callisk? No, like that's what the Callisk eats. I'm like, yo, like that's how crazy that planet is.
Crazy. Yeah, for sure.
But that's really like the main thing, and it's like it's not really an issue. It's just in my head, I'm like, he's not portrayed as weak, but.
Jay, what you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't have any strong negatives either. I just kind of felt like I didn't.
This wasn't that 10
just want to give it a 10. Yeah, I honestly
makes sense. Yeah,
didn't really have anything negative to say. I was locked in. It was fun.
It was fun.
Elle Fanning is fucking phenomenal as always.
What do you guys think about Elle Fanning? Like, I've seen some people say like she could be annoying, but as the movie went on, you loved her character. You grew to love her. When I
first saw the character, because like I said, I don't know anything about the world, and I'm assuming like, because the way they explained it, to my knowledge, and tell me if I'm wrong, this is basically the human race evolved, and they just made synthetic beings, and they're just living on through humanity. Like, that's the creation.
That's very interesting. That's interesting that you jumped to that. No, that's an Alien. Why am I drawing a blank? The one that we just watched yet. Alien Earth, where they started messing with that and putting their conscious minds, and at first it's just kids, into these synthetics. But these synthetics that we saw in the movie, they're just like robots almost, just that humanity just controls them. They're just soldiers.
Yeah, but when I saw it in my head, because I didn't know she was severed in half. So when I saw it, I was like, I didn't have any issues at all with it. I was just trying to figure out what she was doing there. But then you find out she's synthetic and that they were on a mission, and we don't know what the mission is. But she said they were there. They had a base and stuff like that. So everything was cool. I didn't have an issue with it, and her character grew on me pretty quickly, honestly. Like. Just knowing that they're not human, they're robots, and then like seeing how she has the emotions, and she's really just interested in everything. I like that character, and then I just don't see how people have a problem with her. Like, her acting isn't bad. She's not annoying in any way to me.
Some people say she's annoying, like just the talking and the yapping and stuff like that. Some people say that she was, or we're saying they're choosing. I didn't get that.
Yeah, that's tough for me because I'm biased. I love her. Maleficent, a complete unknown. Like, she can't do no wrong in my eyes. So yeah, I don't know. Wrong person to ask.
Plus, she did a great job doing the dual role. I gotta find this screenshot of like, this is the year of dual roles, and all these characters are
She's playing Thea.
She's playing Thea and something like that. Yeah, she's playing too. And yeah, she was a badass on that side, and she more serious on that role. So it was pretty cool to see her do both. Tessa, yeah. It was pretty cool to see her go both routes, and Two
And I'm
different
not gonna
styles.
lie, at first, because I guess I wasn't paying attention to her face enough, I didn't know that was her. I thought it was another person, but obviously that's not realized it.
What'd you guys think about the? Well, at this point, we didn't know this, but the
Bud.
baby, yeah, Bud. What'd you guys think about Bud?
I fuck with Bud heavy. I was like, yo, they made a hedgehog, like, because he was rolling around spinning fast. I was like, yo, they got a hedgehog here, but like clearly he's running through the blaze, so his skin's tough. I was like, bro, I mean the creatures are obviously just crazy, but he was like a comedic relief, and like he elevated it because I felt like it's showing you like what it's like for a random creature out there. Like he's adapted and survived. Like the reason his skin is so tough because he has to live through those the blade grass, and he's swinging through the vine. Like he doesn't care. He was still trying to take down the what did they call it? The bone what? The big monster. I forgot when they first met him.
Oh, okay.
Just seeing how he like just the different creatures are interacting in that world. Like everything's a predator basically. You're in a planet of predators. And that that little baby itself is trying to be a predator, and just I don't know, like the whole game coming together, like it was just fun. It was a fun watch. Like you could really enjoy this movie if you just watch it. Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with everything he just said. That was great.
Yeah.
Like he was fun as shit.
He was learning.
This movie's just fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. It's and it's kind of crazy it being like PG-13. I feel like I could take my kids to go watch this, and
honestly,
they could enjoy it. Havoc would be going crazy just seeing the monsters and the fights and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool and kind of unique that it could cater to both.
This isn't a negative. This is a question because I don't remember when he first lands and he's like checking out his gear, making sure all his stuff is intact. Everything's like his weapons are working. He pulled out a bow. He never used that bow.
He did when he first got on the fucking forest. He was in the forest. He looked up and started shooting it. He did it like once, maybe twice, but after that, I don't know what happened to it.
Never saw that thing again. But
yeah, he used it.
I was just trying to think if I ever saw it again.
Oh yeah. The big twist though being the Calisk. We finally get this Calisk fight, right? And that thing is a beast. Like they even made it a point to be like, Dad's scared to come get this shit.
When they said nobody has killed it, like you're just going in to die. In my head, I'm like, yeah, we already know he's about to probably get fucked up. But when he was fucking it up, I said, oh shit, that was simple. Fuck no, that shit, nigga, he chopped that head off. That head grew back. I said, oh, that makes sense. You're crazy. Fucked. Like, okay, that shit was so crazy, man. Like that shit blew my. I didn't know how they were gonna explain how OP it is, but that's how you explain it. You can't die. Okay.
Yeah. That was really crazy to see the Calisk like that. We found out obviously later on that the Bud was the child of the Calisk, and it's kind of crazy because when they first introduced Bud, and Cody said it earlier that rhino type of creature, right, was food for the Calisk, and then we see Bud. And now we know why later on in the movie he was hunted. Like he was trying to eat that shit because he was a Calisk. So that was pretty cool. We didn't know that. But then later on too, Bud spits on our predator, right? On what's his name? Deck. I think his name is Deck.
Yeah, something like
and that shit was hilarious. But it served a purpose too later on in the movie because the Calisk was about to kill his ass and eat him, and she started sniffing him. She's like, "Oh, wait a minute. You met Bud. You're good. You're part of our family," because that's exactly what they're talking about. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, it being a baby Calisk, I thought was really cool, and that paid off, I think, at the end too. But yeah, that whole Calisk fight was great. The whole fight scene at the end with Wayland and their synths, which I don't know. I guess maybe this is a negative unless you guys can remember. Maybe I can remember a little bit, but she did say like the Calisk messed up our whole expedition team, right? So does that mean a certain group of people went out on the expedition, but they still had a base of people? Because there was a shitload of people at the base.
That's what I was saying. When he first met the girl 7.5, I think this is Thea. She was explaining to him that we have a base somewhere. Like they have a base on this planet. That's how.
Okay.
That's
so then I missed it. I was like, yo, didn't you just say most of your people got killed? But then you go to this base and there's a shitload of them. But no, I guess that makes sense. It was a smaller group. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, that whole fight thing was pretty cool. And Tessa, I think that was her name, right? Tessa being the villain of the movie was actually pretty cool. Seeing the Calisk get killed as soon as the Calisk ate her, at the end, I was like,
Yeah,
you're done.
man.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. You're done, bro. Like usually we know how that shit goes. I had a small, and I'm glad I do give it a point though. For them keeping the callus dead, I was like, oh, that's cool. At least it didn't come back. But I did think once it thawed out, hey, those pieces might have came back together.
Yeah,
I don't know.
low key.
But it didn't happen. But yeah, pretty cool. He gets his own clan by the end of the movie. Throughout the entire movie, he's going through these trials, these different creatures going on, these little snakes. By the way, that little snake was fucking awesome at the end. Gloria loved that little snake, man. That was his fucking like laser beam. That was his laser beam. That was pretty cool. But he's learning all these lessons, getting the planet, different fauna going on, the plants and stuff like that. And then he learns all those lessons at the end of the movie so that he can bring them all together, which I kind of figured was going to happen anyways. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, that's a given. And yeah, he used it. His little helmet that he finally got at the end was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
he made of the bone thing, the bone rhino. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty sick. So he used all the resources and knowledge he got from being on this planet to do the final fight scene, and I thought that was pretty cool. But obviously the Callus died at the end. She came back, blew him up at the end, and then she died pretty quick actually. Like she died pretty quick, and they took care of business right after that. But the next time we see Bud, that motherfucker is full grown. Well, not full grown. He's like a teenager, but now, he's like a teenager. But Bud and Deck, they gonna be some crazy motherfuckers to deal with, bro. That's insane. That's insane.
Have the unkillable. Like you're a predator with an unkillable pet. Like
that's crazy. That's crazy. But he gets his get back at the end of the movie with his dad, and he whoops. Before he kicks his dad's ass, he kicks the two soldiers that his dad told him to go kill.
That's what that's where it came full circle. I'm like, he's supposed to be the weakest. He just 2v1'd them.
Yeah, like for sure.
Like
I think
he survived it, but he had a lot of help to survive that planet. But it's like, these are people that made it to the clan. They made it to get their cloak. You're considered the worst of the worst. I get that, but like, he outscaled them crazy. He did. Kicked their ass when he was fighting different types of monsters that weren't even like human form. I don't know. Like it was not a negative. It's not a terrible negative, but it was like he wasn't weak at all.
Mm-hmm. I think it was more of he was a runt because you put him up against the other ones. He's short. He's little. And
he was short. He was short.
Yeah, when that happens, typically, aliens don't like that shit. But no, he made quick work of those two guys, and then fought his dad and got his get back for his son. For his brother. I thought that was pretty cool. And he ended up killing him. Take his cloak and his credits cut to black. Or not? Yeah, it had the Predator Badlands I think come up, and then
came
back. And this is where I was like talking about it at the beginning. I was like, yo, Dan could potentially do a fourth movie that's completely different from the other three, and I'm all for it. This ship is coming forward with, it seems like these little motorcycles coming through to the desert and things like that. And Elle Fanning is like, who's that? That's my mother. Oh shit. Like that was kind of crazy. We've never seen, at least to my knowledge, maybe it's in the comics because I know the lore for Predator and Aliens go crazy in their own books and their own comics and things like that. Maybe it's in there, but to my knowledge, we've never seen a female Predator. So this will be a first. And that would be really crazy. Like I said, Dan can do 4 different types of Predator movies and potentially all work, and I'm all for it. So, like I said, we talked about it already. I love this movie. I gave it a 10 personally. My top 10 is just gonna go crazy at the end of the year. It's tough, man. It's getting really tough, and we're not even out of November yet, so we still got more movies to come, and this is getting crazy. Anything else on Predator Badlands?
No.
There you go. 8, 9, 10 Predator Badlands. If you guys have seen it, let us know what you guys' thoughts are on that down in the comments below.